Before the Senate, yeah. But still, it's against
perjury.
the law.
Perjury is perjury.
He's a fucking judge.
Right.
He's one of the 9 judges. This asshole who all he wants to do is control women. You know, he's this rapey drunk. Why is this guy in control of women's bodies? Why? Okay? Why is this guy denying potentially life-saving healthcare to pregnant women in Texas? Why do we allow this fucking shit to happen? And it's ridiculous. And the goddamn Democrats need to wake up to this shit. Because if Kavanaugh is not gotten rid of in this way, by investigating his finances and convincing him that retirement and taking a very cushy job making 7 figures at a white shoe law firm is better than going to prison, then we're done. So the Supreme Court's going to shut all the shit down. They're going to turn this into a goddamn fascist dictatorship, which is the only way that they're going to get the agenda that they want. A significant proportion of this country is pro-choice, not anti-choice. They want women and their doctors to decide on women's. They don't want the state to force women to fucking have a baby, which is about as totalitarian as it gets. Most people want that, okay? So for it not to be that way is ridiculous. The only way that these Leonard Leo people can get that is through fascism, period. They need totalitarian people in charge to get what they want, and that's why they're there. It's not going to stop and start with Roe v. Wade. And they're not going to just get rid of it. They're going to erode it, which they're already starting to do. Gay rights are next. It's going to go back in time. They want to go back, pre-New Deal.
Free speech, everything.
It's on the fucking
schools,
record.
Everything.
They want workers to not have any rights at all. That's what they want. That's on a big one. The record. Google this guy, Father McCloskey. They're fucking fascists, okay? All of them. And if we're not taking this seriously, it's fucking over.
And we really don't have much time. We have 10 months to take it seriously. You know, it's really 10 months.
His father?
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know. Why didn't he just say so?
I don't know. We didn't get a straight answer on any of that. I also want to know what Mark Judge knows about his friend.
That would be nice. Mark Judge can stop writing shit about Kamala and go testify.
Right. I want to know who hacked Christine Blasey Ford's email. That was an FBI investigation. I want to know about that. There's a lot that we need to know around this guy. I want to know why we have proof that he lied in his 2006 hearing when he denied his role in era torture memos, flat out lied under oath. And then that came out during his last confirmation hearing to SCOTUS, the truth that he actually was involved in that. And that is what Senator Leahy and Cory Booker were trying to get out during that Senate confirmation hearing. And that is all of a sudden, Christine Blasey Ford's emails are hacked and leaked.
I wonder if we can annul the whole 2016 election and then everything that follows it gets removed. Is that even a possibility? Like, if it's illegitimate president and he did illegitimate things, can you just remove all the things that he did?
There's no political will for that from anybody.
But there's no political will either to enlarge the Supreme Court or to get rid of Kavanaugh or to do any of these things.
I think we will get into and expand the Supreme Court political will. I do. Because they're
we'll get into a conversation on it. But do you think you actually pass that? It's never going to happen. They won't even let us pass any judges right now. You know, Mitch won't let us confirm any judges or any ambassadors right now. Do you think he's going to give us
We need 2 more senators, man. We need 2 more senators. We need more states.
Senators.
Yes.
Yep.
The first thing you do is you get rid of the filibuster, and then you get if we have more senators, we get rid of the filibuster, we add DC or Puerto Rico as a state. That gives us more Democratic senators, and then we just pass shit. That's what you do. Yeah. That's the plan of attack here. Okay?
The Senate is actually a bit in play in November. People aren't as aware. The House is not necessarily easy, but the Senate actually is in play a little bit.
I know. I think
there's potential there.
Look, here's my rant, and it's short. We believe in democracy or we don't. So everyone that's like, oh, democracy, those are the stakes and it's online, like myself, like everyone here, like everyone watching who recognizes the moment of peril we're in. Well, what are we actually fighting to preserve? What are we fighting to protect? What are we fighting to advance and to progress with? We are fighting for democracy. That means we believe in it. So everybody believe and invest in it. It's going to work if you show up and you vote. It's going to work. Right. It's going to work if you pick up the phone and you let your congresspeople and your senators know what you expect of them and what you want from them, and you let your voice be heard. It's going to work. to be able to use the tenets of democracy to save and preserve democracy. But we have to have faith in it, and we have to believe in it, and we have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So we must use the election of 2022. We must use these midterms. Everything needs to be on that. And God bless Senator Warnock. My God. He took to the Senate floor for the first time and he made an argument for voting rights that transcended all of the noise.
Right.
And it was his speech on the Senate floor that went boom and flipped it around. And all of a sudden, even the senators, even the Biden administration was like, yeah, Build Back Better. So the fuck what? We got to do voting rights. It was a moment of extreme clarity and focus and eloquence from him, right? Words do matter. Words can shift entire nations and their trajectory, right? And can preserve democracy. Our words can do it. Our votes can do it. We need to believe and invest and use the machinery of democracy to save it. It'll work.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll work. But we also need to push into the states as not just federally. I mean, we have to be putting up candidates in every precinct in the country, in every state, because it's really a challenge for us to tackle some of those red state Republican houses because they are so fixed in their positions there. So, you know, if people are watching and wondering what to do in the next 10 months, run for office. Go support someone who's running for office.
Support. There's a lot of people running.
But not in every district, surprisingly enough. But it's just important to get out there.
So go and look at who's running your district. And if you see that there's somebody running unopposed, raise the alarm.
Right. Raise the alarm and volunteer for the Democrats in whatever race, whether it's the school board races or anything above that. Just make sure the Democrats are really supported this year because it's going to make a huge difference, especially because the Republicans, I think by November, are going to be deadly embarrassed. I mean, it's going to be an array of embarrassing things happening to them from January. I mean, they'll be...
so true.
It's just a disaster. You look at the entire calendar and it's going to be like, we're going to have hearings in the prime time. You're going to have...
I hope the hearings happen. You guys, I got to say, I think keep vocalizing and pushing for that. I know that, Liz Cheney said they're going to happen. So they're going to happen. No. They very well may just, cut deals and do things behind closed doors. And if they're just going to get people pleading the fifth, think that nobody needs to see that anyway. So we keep pushing. We do need to see it all. It does need to be trotted in front of the American people. That's the only power of it because they don't have power to do anything else with it. It's not the Department of Justice. They don't have power to put anyone into prison. And they're not using the little jail cell that they have there, which they should, but they won't do it. And if there ever was a time to do it in our nation's history, it's now. It was back when they could have thrown Corey Lewandowski in there, right, for contempt. So we'll get there, but make sure that we get public hearings. I want everyone to keep raising their voice of make sure we know you told us you're going to do this. You need to do it. And we would like some dates. Start giving us the dates now. You can plan for this and tell us what dates we can expect to turn on our television and be highly entertained.
There's amazing evidence that they've uncovered, really incredible evidence that I think is going to... Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not see that there's a conspiracy. You can't look at all the available evidence that's come out in the last week or so and say that there's no conspiracy. There's clearly a conspiracy to overthrow the government.
It's going to be the greatest television ever. Yeah. And we just need all of the news channels to understand the ratings bonanza that they're going to get out of these characters because they are so... Talk about people that you have pulled out of the bowels of Satan, out of that fucking anus, with the still covered in chunks of corn, right? From Thanksgiving. This is who it is. They're awful, horrible human. The sewer. They're from Satan's sewer. Just put them there. And because here's the thing, everyone says you can't shame Republicans, right? And I think there needs to be a distinction made there. You actually can shame them. It's how you shame them. You cannot shame them to get them to go away by exposing their own behavior, by talking about hypocrisy, by being by being your, that you cannot shame them that way. You can shame them by mocking and laughing and really being just disgusted by the people they stand next to. With narcissism, you're never going to get them on their own thing. They're not going to feel shame for that. But boy, will they kick a loser to the fucking curb so fucking fast. Look at Donald, what he does with his own kids. As soon as they start to appear as losers, I don't know that person, right? He's out of there, right? Because they don't want any kind of or anything that smells of loss or of just ridiculousness next to them. That's how you shame them.
Yeah.
You distance them, and then it's a divide and conquer, and you just Machiavellian that shit. Right, all day long.
You got to believe that
divide and conquer.
One of those fragile egos must be thinking, how can I make this work for me? How can I become the hero of America by talking? And, someone like Roger Stone, I don't know, he might do it. He's got nothing to lose at the end of his life. Like, why not go out as a hero and just spill all the tea on Donald Trump? I mean, you just need one of those. You just need one of those insiders to go in and say, well, Alex Jones is currently losing everything he's ever worked for and owns and everything. Why wouldn't he talk if he gets a little bit of a reprieve for all these things that he's facing? That's why there's all these pressure points that these guys experience.
Alex Jones doesn't like to talk.
Here's a real concrete example of what I'm talking about that actually might come to be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of, things have to happen that are very difficult to make happen. Being that George Clooney's movie on Jim Jordan and the wrestling scandal actually does not only get made, but people get to see it. That's like, things get killed in ways, right? But there's a whole bunch of content that got killed in 2019. You can't even believe how much content got killed. So being that that's able to happen, and more focus and attention is paid by the media on what actually happened at Ohio State University, no one's going to want to be within, they're hanging on to Jim Jordan and blah, blah. They're going to run for the fuck hills. They don't want to be associated with that at all. I promise you.
I think you're right.
So what you do to win in that situation is, if you're a politician and you're running against someone like, say, Elise Stefanik, who literally lashed herself onto Jim Jordan, and there's all kinds of footage of her saying things in front of the camera and then looking up to him for approval, and he nods down and he winks at her. You just ride that decrepit pony all the way to a win, right? Because I am telling you, I know those people in her district. They don't know that about Jim, and they don't know this about her. They really don't know. And if you're her opponent, you could just keep fire hosing that in front of people all day long. Look, here she is, and here she kissing Jim Jordan on the cheek, and here she is hanging on to him for approval, and here
she thinks
is
like a Republican.
taking advice
She
from
does.
him. Right? I do.
I'm going to take a break.
Ride the decrepit pony? I mean, I guess that's the question.
I don't mean that in any other way. She's married. She's had a baby, whatever. Right? But then and if you really want to go there, if
no
you
more
really
imagery,
want to hit
please,
her,
no more.
you say, well, but good luck. Good on you, Elise Stefanik, for having a girl. Because had you had a boy, you sent him up to Ohio State, who knows what you would have been okay with happening to your own son, right?
And we'll be right back after this. We got to go. We got to take a break. We got to take. Hey, everybody. Thank you for supporting Narrative and for supporting our sponsors. I want you to meet the founder of Moink, an 8th-generation farmer who was featured on Shark Tank.
Time for breakfast. My name is Lucinda Cramsey. I was born on a farm and raised on a farm, and I'm an 8th-generation farmer. I wanted to give farmers the opportunity to be financially independent outside of big agriculture.
You can see why I selected Moink as a sponsor for Narrative. It's good for you and it's good for local farmers. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken and wild-caught Alaskan salmon direct to your door, helping family farms become financially independent outside of big agriculture. Their animals are raised outdoors, their fish swim wild in the ocean, and Moink meat is free of antibiotics, hormones, sugar, and all the other junk you find prepackaged in the meat aisle. Sign up at moinkbox.com. That's moinkbox.com/narrative to get a year of bacon for free, and then pick what meats you want delivered with your first box. Change what you get each month or cancel anytime. And you don't have to take my word for it. Narrative viewers get so excited about their Moink box arriving each month, they tweet at me telling me it's Moink Box Day at their house. And keep doing that. I really enjoy those. Moink meat is so delicious. Narrative discerning viewers love it, and I know you will too. Get Moink Box right now. Join the Moink movement today. Go to moinkbox.com/narrative. That's NARATIV, the way we spell narrative, right now. And listeners and viewers to this show get free bacon for a year. That's 1 year of the best bacon you'll ever taste, but for a limited time. Spelled Moinkbox, MOINK, box.com/narrative. That's moinkbox.com/narrative. Hey, everybody. Thank you for support. Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting Narrative and our sponsors. What's easier than opening a can of cranberry sauce? Getting free life insurance quotes with PolicyGenius, of course. If you're looking for something to do while the family's running a turkey trot, you can be just as productive by comparing quotes from top life insurers with PolicyGenius. Why PolicyGenius? Well, PolicyGenius makes it easy to compare quotes from over a dozen top insurers all in one place. And why compare? Well, you could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with PolicyGenius. You could save $1,300 or more per year on life insurance by using PolicyGenius to compare policies. The licensed experts at PolicyGenius work for you, not the insurance companies, so you can trust them to help you navigate every step of the shopping and buying process. That kind of service has earned PolicyGenius thousands of 5-star reviews across Trustpilot and Google, and eligible applicants can get covered in as little as a week thanks to an award-winning policy option that swaps the standard medical exam requirement for a simple phone call. This exclusive policy was recently rated number 1 by Forbes Advisor, higher than options from Ooh,
okay.
I don't know what happened there. But there you go. I guess
I don't know.
the machine had enough of the ads. You know.
PolicyGenius, damn it.
Yeah, they're the best.
PolicyGenius.
It's good to get insurance right.
Especially now, for God's sake. Everyone's dying. Get the insurance.
It is really important. It is really important. I got to say they're a good company.
I'm not even kidding. I'm being totally serious.
Yeah, and they do a good comparison service. So if you just want to go to one place.
If you don't have life insurance and you die, somebody's got to pay for your funeral expenses. That sucks.
Right. It does suck. It's very expensive.
PolicyGenius. It is.
PolicyGenius.com.
I do want to say, too, for the bacon, the best bacon, what is this bacon? So we were texting about the bacon, and even Jen Griffey won. Yeah. It's like, I'm hungry, LOL. It's like it made us all hungry, that
People love that Moink. They really do. They really think it's a great box of meat that arrived. So I
like that. I like the little clip where you show the people. That was really cool.
Yeah, she was nice. Lucinda. She seems kind of cool. I mean,
anyway, we should say she's named Lucinda.
Lucinda, yeah, she's the head of Moink. She created it. Moo plus Oink. That's her idea right there. Anyhow, where were we? We were talking about the top 10 wish list.
That's what we're doing.
Yes, and Jim Jordan and everybody else.
How to shame Republicans. It's possible.
It is possible.
It's possible.
And we should be prepared for a year of shaming, because that's what's going to happen right now. The next year is going to be full of shaming. There'll be tons of lawsuits, tons of criminal indictments, and tons of oops, I should stop this before it clicks. I don't know why he snuck in. He just snuck in. Brad Pascal wanted some limelight, and that's how he got there.
Oh, my God. That was a guy he looked like one of the Michigan militia guys. Oh no, that's
Speaking of the bowels of hell,
He's the kind of guy who would actually testify. I think like Brad Pascal, I can see someone convincing him that this is his primetime moment. You'll get a whole career out of it. Go ahead. Tell us everything you know about January the 6th. I think he could do a good job there. I'd encourage. We should start a sweepstakes on who might be the first to testify. All right, let's find the rest of our list here, because we have not finished it yet. Who owns Kavanaugh? We did that, right?
Yeah, we're at 5.
And number 5
LB, that one's yours, LB.
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
What is it?
Listen, I called this from, 5 years now, New York State taking down Trump for being a crib.
Wonder if it'll happen.
I think it's going to happen. Yeah, I really do. If New York doesn't, then I got to go back in there. I got to go back to the city and find out, how did I miss this level of corruption?
Vance is leaving next week.
Vance is leaving, yeah.
And he's not going to do this before he leaves, even though everyone had speculated that he would. There's a new guy coming in, Alan Bragg.
Right. It's Alan Bragg, who I don't know much about. But it's not about whether Vance was going to get it done before he leaves. It's that Vance set up all those grand juries. And so that's where the information will come out of the hard work that he did under him, and we'll see what the new guy does with it.
He ran his campaign saying that he was going to be tough on Trump. That's why he won. So hopefully he will be tough on Trump.
New Yorkers really, really want it. And he's a politician. At the end of the day,
come on. What are you talking about? Trump has a 20% approval rating in New York City. What are you talking about?
They just haven't got to know him yet. That's the thing. They need to get to know him.
Well, we have a new, it's so funny. We have a new police, maybe that 20%, because I have a feeling half of that 20% NYPD, but maybe she could, turn that department around, that huge, massive department.
It really is a mess. So number 4, Eric Prince in front of a judge. Would be so excited to see that day happen. This man has gotten away with crime and more crime around the world, and some of it is just, beyond reproach. I wouldn't mind seeing Eric Prince face the music at least a little bit in January, and it might happen. Rumor has it might happen.
Now, if you follow Greg Smith on the Twitters, he does seem to be like, sealed indictment
He did say sealed indictments. Yeah,
stuff is happening, I think.
I've heard it from two sources that actually something's happening. So we'll see. If I could have $1 for every time someone told me that Eric Prince is going to be arrested next week, I'd be semi-rich. Not really.
You could sign up for Moink, is what you could do.
I could buy a box of Moink. So number 3 is the end of Citizens United. That's just my other thing I wish for next year. It's not going to happen, but, you know.
To your point here, Zev, like, we don't know where the money's coming from. It's dark, and therefore we don't know where it's coming from. It could be Mogilevich money. It could be Putin money. It could be MBS money. It could be like UAE money. We don't fucking know. I think the way to frame this, if you're a Democrat,
could be Chow money.
It
could be Chow money, China, whatever. The way to frame it as a Democrat is to say to these people, I think you're a foreign asset and that foreign money is paying for everything you do. And if you don't show me who gives you the money, I'm going to keep saying it. Prove me wrong, motherfucker. That's
so cheap for these people. It's so cheap for a country to go and invest some money in a candidate. It's so easy for them to do it, and they'll get huge response for it. It's just a good return on investment. All they have to do is say, funnel some money into a candidate like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they've suddenly got a spokesperson in the middle of our Congress. It's just nonsense. That thing should be overturned. And also that horrible thing that Clarence Thomas's wife was involved in January the 6th. That's no good. She should go too. All right, where are we? Number 2. Who's this one?
It's great.
Right, now, you wrote the joke out here and sort of spoiled it. But
I'm sorry. It's what you sent me, so I put it into.
I don't know. I didn't even look at it. It's sort of Frodo to throw the fucking ring into the fire, and then the Eye of Murdoch goes out. And imagine, Rupert Murdoch is one of the worst human beings that ever lived. He is worse than almost anyone.
Yeah.
He's on, again, we go back to Succession and Logan Roy's brother. Speaking of Logan Roy, but really speaking about Rupert Murdoch, says, if you consider all the thing he does with climate change and how the earth is going to die, and therefore the people that he's going to kill, he's on par with Hitler. Murdoch is. He is that level of fucking evil. He really is, and I believe that with my soul. This is a guy who encouraged his Fox News host to go on the air and fucking lie, which we know this week, about the insurrection, about who was there that day. Hannity, is he going to lie on his own without marching orders from the top? Maybe. I don't know. But Murdoch owns the fucking station. So ultimately, it's Murdoch's responsibility to make sure that these people don't fucking lie about something like that, about the insurrection. They also lie about, the vaccines and this and that. They are responsible for hundreds of thousands of people who are dead. This fucking asshole. He ruined Great Britain, fucking gone. Rupert Murdoch had a big part in that. That great, wonderful country, vanguard of democracy and all this sort of human rights stuff, it's a fucking joke now. Why? Because of Rupert Murdoch and his fucking media empire. That's part of the problem, okay? He killed it there. He's working on it here. I don't know what he's up to in Australia where he's from. Why did his yacht accident not be like Robert Maxwell's yacht accident? I don't know. That's an argument that there is no God. I'll just leave it at that. This man is fucking evil incarnate. Okay, so I want Frodo. Who's Frodo? I don't know who Frodo is.
Dominion, maybe. It might be Dominion.
Dominion, absolutely. That's right.
The fire, whatever the fuck it is. Okay, and poof, the Eye of Sauron goes out. Murdoch is no more. And all of a sudden, Hannity, he's talking on the screen about some bullshit, and then boom, there's nothing.
I'd love that.
Tucker Carlson. Hi, I'm here with Kyle Rittenhouse, and the boom, it's nothing. Laura Ingraham. Wow, boom. When we never hear from these fucking people again. I can't overstate how awful they are. The propaganda, the Soviet fucking propaganda, the anti-American propaganda spewing from this fucking evil network of media companies with this fucking evil man. I don't know if it will take a goddamn, I don't know if it's a clove of garlic or like a hammer and a stake or a goddamn direct sunlight. But God willing, Rupert Murdoch needs to be destroyed.
Maybe someone needs to get to Jerry Hall, and maybe she needs to figure out a way to divorce him and take all his money.
How is he still alive, though? Honestly,
Mick
how is he alive?
Text Jerry Hall, Mick Jagger.
Where is Mick Jagger?
Name us, Mick Jagger.
Name us. Where are you? You wrote that song about the devil.
You're gonna then go to Rupert Murdoch? What's wrong with you? I don't understand.
Yeah, sympathy for the devil. Baby.
I didn't know Cheryl Hines was married to that idiot Kennedy guy either. That's really disappointing.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, God.
Yeah, that's
don't
where the money
get me
comes from.
started
That's where
on
the money comes
Malibu
from.
people. I can't.
All right, let's do number one. Kushner to prison for the Blue State genocide. Here.
This is all three of us. This is the number one wish.
Where is Jared anyhow?
I don't know. People are asking.
He's running Affinity Partners. He's in the Middle East trying to get these assholes to give him money. Fucking asshole. Oh.
You see, I saw Sandy put up a tweet the other day saying, are they still married? I think they're still married.
What,
are they
Sandy
still
was
together? Are they?
Is Ivanka still with that guy?
Yeah,
that one guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh my God! It's Shiv and Tom. It's so Shiv and Tom.
I know it's Shiv and Tom.
But is this real?
Look,
is this a wish?
No, the wish is that, look, I do not agree with. I think it is the biggest mistake ever in the history of Department of Justice, ever calling itself or any legal branch of anything ever in this nation or any other nation to not prosecute a former U.S. president simply for his multitude of crimes, especially where real criminal activity resulted in mass death of Americans. Mass death. And he knew it and he wanted it. He thought he was going to have a political win. If Garland is just too comfortable in his little robe, judge's robe left over, to actually step out and do what's right and prosecute this guy because there's some memo somewhere, so, God forbid a fucking memo. Where's the memo for the son-in-law that was installed as an advisor that didn't even get a security clearance? Mm-hmm. Was refused a security clearance, so he got some magical award of from the corrupt money launderer for Russian mafia, falling, Tony Salerno's scrotum, Donald Trump. Where?
Oh, you're fantastic! You're so good at this.
Where to bring it all the way back around, right to to Fred's checkbook, Fred's wallet. Wait, why is there immunity for Jared fucking Kushner? Who the fuck is Jared fucking Kushner?
He's just the guy that killed hundreds of thousands of Americans because he's a greedy fuck.
Yep. By the way, breaking news, and I think I'm not 100% sure this is totally accurate, but according to Paula Hatfield, who's quoting Occupy Democrats, she's saying that Fox News host Sean Hannity surprised his viewers while wrapping up tonight's show, announcing an unplanned vacation as the controversy of his January the 6th text messages rages all around. Maybe you've got a visit from someone. Maybe you got a visit.
Fuck you, Sean.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
See, they heard your wish. It just happened right now.
Wish.
You just said
One
it.
One of them went poof temporarily. He poofed. He went
Well, I mean, he must be so close to being indicted, that guy. He just must be so close.
I mean, who knows? I think.
Are you referring to the time that he wanted the Russian asset to host his radio show?
Just one of the things.
Okay, wait.
One of the things that he did.
But Greg's on it. Everyone's saying over his January 6th text. I don't think it's going to happen to anybody over the jet. Again, I do not believe that. This is Assange shit. It's not good for Sean.
It's not. None of it's good for Sean. Daily briefings.
Assange, come host my radio show. I know you're a Russian asset. Let me give you this huge platform. Please.
No, it's not looking good for him.
I'm going to come visit you. Spread your buttocks, Sean. Spread your buttocks, Julian. Oh, my God. It's so fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
But, that man is due to go. He really is. Sean Hannity of all of them. But Tucker, too. I can't stand Tucker. I really can't. So thank you, Paula. I hope that's true. I hope that's good news for everybody. It ends the show in a good way. And that is the end of the show. No, there's more.
We're going long tonight.
Talk about the Beatles here.
Let's go long. I don't mind going long. I got nothing better to do. It's 8:14. Let's go long. Let's talk about the Beatles.
Let's talk about the Beatles.
Beatles. Yeah. We love the Beatles.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Beatles.
Okay.
We have to end it on a high note.
The Beatles.
There we go.
Yes.
I know nothing about this.
Are we spoiling? We're not going to spoil. Everybody's had a chance to see it. Okay.
I haven't seen it, but I hear it's amazing. Go ahead.
Listen, to me, it is the greatest rock documentary ever, and I don't think anything will touch it. And first of all,
it clearly is.
It just is. Yeah. Well, I don't know. People are debating it. Whatever. I'm just saying. But first of all, Greg and I have had many conversations about this because we just can't believe it. How does this exist all these years? Oh my God.
Well, the tapes existed, right? And then just explain to everyone. So this is tape that was originally shot ages ago.
They were known as Let It Be.
Amazing.
In January of 1969.
Yeah.
the Beatles convened at a studio, at a sound studio. They were supposed to, in the month of January 1969, they were going to write 10 songs or however many songs, record the album, and then perform it at the end of the month live.
Amazing.
As a TV show.
That's brilliant.
And this guy, this director who wound up, you're watching it, you're like, this guy looks familiar. It turns out he really is Orson Welles' biological
It's Orson Welles' son. Yes.
You're watching this and he's recording it all. And nowadays we've seen this, there's this hidden cameras here and there. I mean, everybody has a camera on their iPhone. In 1969, this shit did not exist. This is like finding like video footage of Abraham Lincoln giving the fucking Gettysburg Address.
It's
full color.
It's astonishing that it exists. Peter Jackson, because it's his project, it's 3 installments that are over 2.5 hours each.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what he does.
That's what he does.
Right. Which is incredible.
Damn, it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. And, and he doesn't get mucked up with like a narrator voice or cut to contemporary things, documentary style while people are talking. He just says, we have an opportunity to be the fly on the wall in the Beatles as they're writing the greatest fucking songs in all of history. And you get to see their process and the difference between the 4 different processes and what the actual John and Paul relationship was and how that was like George Harrison had his moment of like, I'll never be a part of this. And he was just a wet blanket and he leaves. And then he comes back like with a fucking superhero cape and saves the day, right? And like, because the whole studio that they had set up to record the greatest fucking rock songs of all time was all fucked up and George had to get in there and fucking save it. He went in and saved the shit after he quit the Beatles. That's how he comes back in. And then it's like, George is a hero. And then like, it's just unbelievable. And you listen to Paul McCartney be so loved, beautiful with John and Yoko recognizing they're in love and they just want to be together. And then he makes a comment like, watch, in 50 years, people say the Beatles broke up because Yoko sat on an amp. Right. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what people said.
It did say
that. It's not real. It's not true. All of that was just bullshit. So you get to see the real beauty between these 4 young men. They're only 27 and that they're like, feel like they're so old, right? And just still babies. And the just beautiful relationship that they all have with one another, with their artistry. And Paul is just this machine. All these fucking songs coming out of Paul McCartney.
Oh my God.
He was the genius there, right? Amazing stuff.
Unreal. They all were. Really.
The thing that
Ringo's genius. I never thought Ringo was a genius. Ringo's a fucking genius.
No,
he sits
it's
there
impossible to watch that and not love Ringo.
He listens. He creates a space where all this stuff can be conjured by these master songwriters. He just sits there and creates an emotional, spiritual space for it to happen. As he hears the song, they're not even hearing the song yet. They're like working out. As soon as he hears it, he goes to his drum kit and he goes, dun, 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 and he starts putting it underneath it, and everything comes to life. It's like you just never seen anything like it. Well,
I can't wait to see it.
Oh my God!
Thank
you, Peter Jackson, for how you did this and for not putting yourself in there and not fucking it up. Oh,
thank you, Peter Jackson. Thank you, the Beatles.
It's really great. I was 9 years old, and so were you, Zev. I'm sorry, 8 years old.
Yes,
and so were you, Zev.
Thank you.
When
was I really? Was I really?
Yes.
Oh, when he was killed. When the thing was shot. Yeah.
So
I've been to that spot a few times. Actually.
No, we weren't born yet when it was shot.
No, when John Lennon. He said when John Lennon was shot.
When John Lennon was shot.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old. And Zev, you were 8 years old. So because you're 2 months older than me. So when I've seen John Lennon footage, it's usually like he's in bed with Yoko. He's got the I Love New York shirt on. He's like already sort of this icon.
Yes.
It was fascinating to me to watch him actually just, playing guitar and singing. Because I've seen Paul do that. I've seen George do it. I've seen Ringo play drums, but I've never seen John just play like that before.
Yeah. It's super talented.
Amazing.
Their early footage of them, like when they first broke out in Berlin as well, was amazing. It's like, it's really good stuff if you can get to see that.
Like the fact that these guys were in Liverpool, which is the 4th largest city in the UK. These 3 guys, like George Harrison and Paul McCartney, like rode the bus together, I guess. George Harrison was fucking 14. Paul McCartney was like 16 or 17.
He was 13.
He was 13.
13.
That's it. They took John and Paul, and I know, like, if you like John, you say Paul sucks, and if you like Paul, you're like John sucks. But the reality is, these are 2 of the greatest individual artists ever. And they're in the same fucking little tiny place working together. It's like,
and
it's enough to
found
make
each
you believe
other.
in God.
Yeah.
It's
It makes you
amazing.
It
believe
is.
in God.
It
really
does.
does. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, I can't believe this exists. What a gift.
And what a brilliant format as well. Like, it's just a great idea. Putting, artists together and giving them a limited time span to do this big creative project. And then, and then they actually have to perform it at the end. But now you've got these incredible
And
artists.
they
It turns out to be,
delivered.
the biggest
They
artists
did
of all
it.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, wow.
Oh.
That is a nice story. That's a nice way to end the story. Show, at least.
Watch
Zev wants
it
to leave.
over-
I can
watch
tell.
it over the
Zev's-
holidays.
No,
Zev's like,
I just don't have anything to say about it because
Zev has plans. He's like, this podcast is going to be 10 minutes longer than usual. Oh, no.
I was thinking about the editor who has to edit this, and he's like, we got to do this in 2 parts. I can stay and talk to you guys for as long as you want because I love you guys so much. And we're a little like the Beatles. We're like the Beatles of the Trump-Russia world.
No.
No.
We are not.
You're not.
We're not.
There are no Beatles of that world.
I mean, that's all I had. That's all I had. That's all I got.
No. They're like a basketball team. Paul McCartney's the point guard. Lennon
Sports.
is the
Sports,
pick and roll partner.
Narrative sports.
Narrative sports.
Thank you so much. I was forgetting about that, and here we go. Just like that.
Oh, are we going to do narrative sports? Can we talk about
We gotta
Kyrie?
have
Because
the
he's been
narrative
trending on
sports.
Twitter all fucking day.
Who's been trending on
Not gonna talk
Twitter?
about it. The Beatles are like a basketball team. They really are. It's like the dynamic there. It's like the same fucking thing because you have the 2 stars who are Lennon and McCartney. Paul McCartney is the point guard. Lennon is the big man, whatever. And then you have the complementary role player who does all the dirty work. That's Ringo. Oh my God. You cannot win
Point
championships
guard.
without Ringo.
Big man.
But George
role player.
Harrison is like, hey, I'm also a point guard.
Oh.
I need touches.
Can you have
Pass me
2
the
point guards?
basketball. And McCartney's like, no, you cannot have 2 point guards. McCartney's like, my ball, fuck off. And that's the tension that's there.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
incredible.
And then they play a game.
Is that Let It Be is not their best album by any stretch of the imagination. And the Harrison stuff that comes out after this just is better. I mean,
Right.
Something is better than any song written in this
There's no better. Stop that.
Narrative is made possible by viewers like you. Join today and support truly independent journalism at patreon.com/narrative. That's patreon.com/narrative.